弥陀佛，大家好，请大家将您的手机调为震动或者关机，谢谢。 合宗西雅图雷上师同修莲花童子本尊法，恭迎真合宗创办人无上法王根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师仁波切及上师团众人虔诚合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。一起齐声问候：师尊好，师母好，大家好。顶礼坛城，以拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽。平等一起手，恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
We just welcome our lineage root guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Shen, to enter into the temple hall after making prostration to the root guru and the three jewels of the altar. We are inviting His Holiness to take the Dharma throne.
请师母莲香上师上座，请仁波切及诸位上师上座。
Inviting Simu, Rinpoche, all the Dharma masters to please take the seats. Inviting all the venerables, our distinguished guests, and all participants to please be seated.
依照雷藏寺往常的惯例，请第一次来或很久
台湾的来了，早知道就托他们带着。
自我介绍您的法号和来自的国家及道场。我们先从龙边开始。龙边有要自我介绍的，请站起来。
师尊好，师母好，各位上师、法师、真佛宗同门，大家好。我是吴自在，那有10多年没有。
According to the custom at this Taiwan temple, we're inviting people who are here for the very first time to please introduce themselves.
欢迎。
这一次是跟随着高铁上师的住持的上师，还有比较会适当也和上师一起。
We followed the abbot of Tripura School Taiwan Temple and Master Lien O and other disciples. We hope we are inviting His Holiness to return to Taiwan, and hopefully we would be able to get the answer and get the good news. So we've been requesting His Holiness to return there. From Sydney, Australia. We came from Singapore.
欢迎，请问还有吗？让我们也以热烈的掌声欢迎世界各地仁波切。
Let's welcome all participating Rinpoche, Masters, Venerables, and all participants from all over the world.
接下来，我们有请台湾地区异教总会理事长兼世界
Next,
正
we
火
would
报
like
总社
to
事长
invite
莲欧上师
the
致辞
president of the True Buddha Tantrayana of Taiwan, which is also the head of the True Buddha News Weekly from Taiwan, Master Lien O, to say a few words. The beloved Grandmaster and Sumo, and all honorable masters, and dear fellow Dharma brothers and Dharma sisters, good evening. When the greeneries in Seattle change into the golden color, we come to the the Seattle temple again. In our group this time, the abbot of True Buddha School, Taiwan, Master Lien Zhe, Reverend Lien Jiang, and one Dharma brother and 3 Dharma sisters especially come here to invite Grandmaster and Sumo to go back to Taiwan to spread Buddha Dharma. Especially the Dharma brother who's also the pilot of EVA Air, Dharma brother Yang. When they heard that we are coming, he especially changed his schedule to fly us here and to try to seize any opportunity that they can get to get Grandmaster and Sumo back to Taiwan. Therefore, we appeared again here, and then through the webcast, everybody from Asia, South Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, they all wave their hands and would applaud for me. Therefore, I become the most popular on the internet because they swallow their tears and speechless. And they know that in this mission impossible, finally they succeeded in having Grandmaster back to Taiwan. We have tried our best as the president of the True Buddha News Weekly headquarters, as well as the president of the True Buddha Taiwan Tantrayana, and Master Lamdre. We bear heavy responsibility to fulfill the wishes of the people there, to have a Grandmaster to go back there. We are willing to sacrifice ourselves for this. Although the sky in Taiwan is still covered with black polluted air, it has not changed. And because of Simu's health, Grandmaster cannot bear to have her travel such distance to such a place, or to leave Simu here by herself, because she needs Grandmaster. So therefore, we have to wait until the health condition of Simu in order to decide on the exact date. I know many disciples would feel very sad and depressed not being able to see Grandmaster again soon. However, because Grandmaster is the most precious treasure of True Buddha School, we like to have him to live such a peaceful, tranquil, happy, carefree life so that he can live a long life. And this is our greatest wish for our lineage of Buddha. After hearing a lot of precious Dharma teachings and reading Grandmaster's writings and following his footsteps in our Dharma practice, I believe that we have learned that for the temporarily or for the time being, we can stand alone. And as Grandmaster said, it's possible that I will show up in front of all of you there very soon. So tomorrow, I'm going back to Taiwan. To say goodbye to the True Buddha School Seattle Temple and Rainbow Temple and all the Dharma masters, Dharma teachers, Dharma brothers, Dharma sisters, and I would like to request you to take care of Grandmaster and Simu. Although we don't carry any of the rainbow clouds, however, when the sky in Taiwan becomes clear blue and Grandmaster and Simu have become strong and healthy, we will come again. Thank you, everybody.
我们也欢迎世界各地所有的弟子常来西雅图。
We welcome everybody to come to Seattle.
同修莲花童子本尊法开始。
The good practice tonight is Padmakumara. Clap twice and snap your fingers.
观想真佛宗传承。
Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairukana Buddha. Namo Buddha Lokana. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Padmakumara. Namo Living Buddha Liansheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the root Guru mantra 7 times.
Om Guru Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong.
We say purification mantras and the authority mantra.
Om Siodoli Siodoli Siumori Siumori Soha. Om Vajradang He He Hom. Namo Samanto Modaran Om Duru Duru Dewi Soha.
We say invocation mantra.
Hom Soha. Om Hom Soha. Om Hom Soha.
We sincerely invoke the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. The Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. The Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. The main deity of the group practice, Namo Padmakumara. The main deity of the group practice, Namo Padmakumara. The main deity of the group practice, Namo Padmakumara. Namo Vairogana Buddha in the center. Namo Akshurva Buddha to the east. Namo Amitabha Buddha to the west. Namo Ratnasambhava Buddha to the south. Namo Amuga Siddhi Buddha to the north. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Namo Medicine Buddha. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Japa. Namo Siddhigarba Bodhisattva. Namo Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva. Namo Manjushri Bodhisattva. Namo Maitreya Bodhisattva. Namo Vajrasattva. Namo Guru Padmasambhava. Namo Mahajundi Buddha Mother. All Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, all Buddhas of the 3 times in the 10 directions, all Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas. Namo Mahaprajna Paramita. Create homage using visualization for Sturut Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize the procession of the ground. Release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize the procession of the ground. Release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize the procession of the ground. Release the mudra. Fourth have power. Create mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become immovable to fill the whole space. Make the offering of love to the lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, the main deity Padmakumara, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to all of our civilization. Visualize fourfold refuge, our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the mantra.
Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sanghaye. Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sanghaye.
Armor protection. Form Vajra Clubs Mudra, recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Recite Hiking Guan Yin Sutra. First, the invocation of the 8 great Bodhisattvas.
Namo Mila Pusa Mohasa, Namo Sui Hong Chan Pusa Mohasa, Namo Puxian Pusa Mohasa, Namo Jingang Shou Pusa Mohasa, Namo Miao Ji Xian Pusa Mohasa, Namo Chu Gai Zhang Pusa Mohasa, Namo Di Zhang Wan Pusa Mohasa, Namo Zhu Zun Pusa Mohasa, 观世音菩萨，南无佛，南无法，南无僧。佛国有缘，佛法相应，常乐我净，有缘佛法。 南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是大神咒。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是大明咒。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是无上咒。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是无等等咒。南无净光秘密佛，法藏佛，狮子吼神足幽王佛，佛告须弥灯王佛，法护佛，金刚常狮子游戏佛，宝胜佛，神通佛，药师琉璃光王佛，普光功德山王佛，上住功德宝王佛，过去七佛，未来贤阶千佛，1500佛，15000佛，500花胜佛，100亿金刚藏佛，定光佛，六方六佛名号，东方宝光月殿月妙尊音王佛，南方树根花王佛，西方照王神通烟花王佛，北方月殿清净佛，上方无数精进宝手佛，下方上济月音王佛，无量诸佛，多宝佛，释迦牟尼佛，弥勒佛，阿初佛，弥陀佛，中央一切众生，在佛世界中者，行住于地上，即在虚空中，自由于一切众生，各令安稳休息，昼夜修持，心常求诵此经，能灭生死苦，消除诸毒害。南无大明观世音，观世音，高明观世音，开明观世音，药王菩萨，药上菩萨，文殊师利菩萨，普贤菩萨，虚空常菩萨，地藏王菩萨，清凉宝山亿万菩萨，普光王如来化身菩萨，念念诵此经，七佛世尊即说昼夜，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈，离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离呵那地，毗尼尼地，摩诃迦地，真灵称地，娑哈。十方观世音，一切诸菩萨，是愿救众生，称名悉解脱。若有智慧者，殷勤为解说。但是有因缘，读诵口不错，诵经满千遍，念念心不绝。火焰不能伤，刀兵利摧者，贿赂生欢喜，死者变成佛。莫言此是虚，诸佛不忘说。高往观世音，能救诸苦厄，临危急难中，死者变成佛。诸佛语不虚，是故应顶礼。持诵满千遍，众罪皆消灭。后福坚信者，尊功受持经，愿以此功德普及于一切。诵满1000遍，众罪皆消灭。高往观世音经中。念7遍往生
Deliverance mantra 7
南无
times.
阿弥陀佛耶，多他伽多耶，多得亚他，阿弥尼多婆毗，阿弥尼多舍单婆毗，阿弥尼多毗迦南帝，阿弥尼多毗迦南多，迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦尼娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他伽多耶，多得亚他，阿弥尼多婆毗。阿弥尼多舍单婆毗，阿弥尼多毗迦南帝，阿弥尼多毗迦南多，迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦尼娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他伽多耶，多得亚他， อามินิโตโพปิอามินิโตสุตัมโพปิอามินิโตปิกานันเตอามินิโตปิกานันโตแคมินิแคแคนาจิตโตแคนิโสหะนะโมอามิโตโพเยโตทะแคโตเยโตเตยะทะอามินิโตโพปิอามินิโตสุตัมโพปิอามินิโตปิกานันเตอามินิโตปิกานันโตแคมินิแคแคนาจิตโตแคนิโสหะนะโมอามิโตโพเยโตทะแคโตเยโตเตยะทะอามินิโตโพปิอามินิโตสุตัมโพปิอามินิโตปิกานันเตอามินิโตปิกานันโตแคมินิแคแคนาจิตโตแคนิโสหะนะโมอามิโตโพเยโตทะแคโตเยโตเตยะทะอามินิโตโพปิอามินิโตสุตัมโพปิอามินิโตปิกานันเตอามินิโตปิกานันโตแคมินิแคแคนาจิตโตแคนิโสหะนะโมอามิโตโพเยโตทะแคโตเยโตเตยะทะอามินิโตโพปิอามินิโตสุตัมโพปิอามินิโตปิกานันเตอามินิโตปิกานันโตแคมินิแคแคนาจิตโตแคนิโสหะ
From our lineage root guru Padmakumara mudra. First empty your mind. We said the mantra. Visualize a lake, clear like mirror. At the center of the lake there is a tall mountain. At its peak there is a lotus throne. On top of the lotus throne there is a hum, sit syllable, revolving to become our lineage root guru, the Maha White Padmakumara, standing on the lotus throne. The white Mahapadmakumara looks very marvelous, dignified like a Buddha, wearing celestial garment fluttering in the breeze. His body radiates precious, brilliant light. To his right there are the Buddhas of the 10 realms. To his left are the Bodhisattvas, sages, and Sangha. And all the lineage gurus are around him. Below his Dharma throne are the 4 heavenly kings and the protectors. Visualize from the lineage root guru's brow point an Om, sit syllable, radiate bright white light shining upon our own brow point. This is the light of the mirror-like wisdom to eradicate our 5 aggregates and the 8 consciousness to become nothing. From his throat chakra, an Ah, sit syllable, radiates bright red light upon our throat chakra to eradicate our desire and greed into nothing. And this is the light of the great wisdom. From his throat chakra, a hum, sit syllable, radiate a brilliant blue light upon our heart chakra to subdue and tame our ignorance and delusion, and to transform our ignorance into nothing. Then visualize our lineage root guru and the 3 jewels radiate the 5 rainbow lights upon our whole body to eradicate all of our karmic transgressions since beginningless time, to transform it to become black smoke and to expel them through our skin pores and to let them evaporate into thin air. Our bodies become crystal clear and we feel at peace and at ease.
持莲花童子星座100莲花。
Recite Padmakumara heart mantra 108 times. First perform mala visualization.
持咒 Om Guru 莲生悉地 Hum 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 Om Guru Nian Sheng Siddhi Hum. 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 做9节佛风入
Perform 9 cycle Buddha breathing, enter into samadhi.
加持八大本尊星座及念佛。
Recite the heart mantras for a principal deity and can put
北弥吽唵巴那摩林陀林梭哈唵哈哈哈维萨摩耶梭哈唵真尼准尼准提梭哈唵真巴拉查能查那耶梭哈唵啊吽贝扎咕噜贝玛西迪吽塞唵啊吽咕噜贝阿呵萨萨玛哈连声西迪吽德亚他唵贝卡兹呀贝卡兹呀 玛哈贝卡兹呀拉扎萨摩卡德黑梭哈，南无36万亿11万9500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿11万9500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿11万9500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。 请大家起念，请佛注释。
Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the Vajraya's that all Buddhas of the 10 directions of the Buddha lands as numerous as grains of sand. All Bodhisattvas who are full of compassion toward all beings. All Herudasammapas and their kings, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stripped and tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage deluded ones. To jewels eminent wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human endeavors, rely on His Vajrabadi for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. With disciple of Buddha, plead that you stay in this world to turn the Dharma will benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Recite the mantra of longevity Buddha 108 times and dedicate the marriage to the health and longevity of our lineage Guru.
持咒唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈唵阿玛罗利珠恩迪耶梭哈 Om Amaroli Juandiye Soha. 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 Om Amarori Juanti 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 Soha. 回向，愿同念佛者同生起。
May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, repaying fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the three realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death like the Buddha, may we dedicate the merit of this good practice to our Venerable Guru. May you stay healthy, live a long life, continually stay in samsara to turn the Dharma wheel.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛作总回向。
Inviting our ministry guru to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the Padmakumara Yidam. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the Padmakumara Yidam. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the Padmakumara Yidam. We pray to Padmakumara to please radiate light and guide the spirits to be reborn into the Western realm of utmost bliss that the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. We pray to Padmakumara to radiate light and bless. May May our karmic sicknesses be eradicated. May those who practice Padmakumara spiritual cultivation and the root guru yoga can gain spiritual union soon. We pray to Padmakumara to increase our merits and our wisdom. May the Vajra with great fortune bestow good fortunes upon all participants. Please bestow your great wisdom upon all participants. We pray to Padmakumara to please bless. With the Dharma milk to be poured into all of our bodies so that all karma, all karmic transgressions can be completely cleansed and purified. We pray to Padmakumara to bless all participants. May they gain benefits from their spiritual cultivation. May they gain spiritual union with their yidam soon. May bright radiance and lotus blossoms appear. We pray to Padmakumara to please bless upon all participants auspiciousness during the day, auspiciousness at night, auspiciousness around the clock. And we, amidst the auspiciousness, pray for the blessings by the root guru, absorption by the yidam, and support by the protectors. We wholeheartedly pay homage to Padmakumara. Gods in heavens, gods on earth, may we be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted. May all enemies and enmities disappear. May all obstructions disappear. Hundred syllable mantra 3 times.
Pecha sato samaya malupanaya pecha sato teru padicha tsuzo me pawa soto kayu me pawa sopo kayu me pawa anurato me pawa shawa hasidi memporaya cha shawa gamma suzame jitamu sili ren guru hom ha 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 he pankawan sawa tathagata pecha mami mancha pecha pawa mahasamaya sato ahom pe om pecha sato samaya manupanaya pecha sato teru padicha tsuzo me pawa soto kayu me pawa sopo kayu me pawa anurato me pawa shawa hasidi memporaya cha shawa gamma suzame jitamu sili ren guru hom ha 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 he bhagavan sava tathagata pejama mimancha pejapa maha samaya sato ahom pe om peja sato samaya manupanaya peja sato tenupadicha jeta me pawa suto kayu me pawa sopo kayu me pawa Anorato me pawa shawa hasiti me poraya cha shawa gama sutame chitamu sili ren guru hom ha 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 he pankawan sawa tathagata pejama mimancha pejapawa maha samaya sato ahom pe 做观想大礼拜。
Three homage and visualization for student guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration in the lily samudra. Second, all bodhisattvas. Third, all Herukas and protectors. Visualize for prostration in the lily samudra. Fourth eye bow. Recite completion mantra. Now let's give the greatest round of applause to show our utmost gratitude to our Lady Guru for his blessing to this group practice. Now the offering of Hatha. We would like to invite the Venerable Lian to present all of us, to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage of Guru as a symbol of the highest honor.
恭请无上法王根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛做宝贵的法语开示。
Inviting our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sung, to bestow the precious Dharma teaching. Let's pay homage to the lineage Gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liaoming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong, the Jumwe Pushe. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight, Padmakumara. Sumu, Danjan Kato, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are Accountant to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, a PR Director of True Buddha School, Taiwan Temple, Dharma Brother Fermi Wang, Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and from Canada, Dr. Olivia Chung, Good evening, everyone. How do you do? Tonight we practice Padmakumara. When Padmakumara gave an instruction, one is the lotus mudra or holding lotus mudra, and the other hand is forming the teaching the Dharma mudra. So holding the lotus and teaching the Dharma. At that time, there were very few people who knew about Padmakumara and was teaching this mudra. And later on, in the grottos of caves in Donghuang, we saw that there was a Tathagata, which is a Buddha, who formed the same mudra. One hand holding the lotus like this, and the other hand is teaching the Dharma mudra. Of course, in the caves in Donghuang, there are many Padmakumaras, countless of them. At first, we thought that there was only in cave 314 there was a Padmakumara. And after asking the people in charge there at the Donghuang caves, oh, you want to see Padmakumara? Oh, it's in every cave, not just cave 314. Because at that time, cave 314 was being renovated. It was closed. But the two Buddha school disciples wanted to see the cave 314, but it was closed. So those people talked with the manager for quite a bit, and finally he opened the cave for them to see. And they also said that Padmakumara doesn't exist only in cave 314, but in most of the other caves there are also Padmakumaras. And at that time, Padmakumara was also called the manifested youth. So during the Tang dynasty, there was already a children rhyme, 10 of them, 10 songs, 10 rhymes that were all referring to Padmakumara. I don't remember so many of them. The lotus youth meets the golden sage. The lotus youth meets the golden sage. The showers of blossoms left and right. The marvelous sound heard at the pavilion. It's more wonderful above the cloud. This is only one of them, but there were 10 of them total. I don't memorize it. So you could see that Padmakumara already existed then. And on top of that, there were 2 lotus youth, the earliest ones, Pao Yi youth and Pao Sang youth. Pao Yi meaning precious mind, lotus youth, and the supreme precious youth. And the founder or the lineage, the patriarch or the founder of Mahamudra and great perfection are the Adharma Buddha. And the first one that he transmitted to was, do you remember? The Mahamudra of the Kagyupa, the primordial Buddha transmitted to Pao Yi youth and Pao Sang youth. Therefore, the Pao Yi youth and Pao Sang youth were Padmakumara, and Adharma Buddha is the primordial Buddha he wanted to transmit a Mahamudra Dharma practice to the Pao Yi youth. So you could see that Padmakumara was together during the time of the Adharma Buddha in order for the transmission to occur. Therefore, Padmakumara was from a long time ago, and he was also a lineage guru of Mahamudra. So don't think that Padmakumara is just a small potato. A small potato chip, a small lotus youth. But his origin, he was together with Adharma Buddha. Therefore, Padmakumara is extremely precious. When I was talking about Padmakumara, I went to many of the great monks or the great knowledgeable people and asked them about Padmakumara, but nobody knew. I did not know either at that time. And then gradually, everybody starts to get to know them more and more. Like Pao Yi youth, Pao Sang youth, all appeared to us. And as we know, the Shambhala kingdom, the first king, of Shambhala was a reincarnation or manifestation of Manjushri Bodhisattvas. And his son is the White Lotus King. And he wrote a book called The Immaculate Radiance Treatise. And that White Lotus King was Padmakumara. The first king to Shambhala was Suchandra. And as we all know, Buddha divisions divided into several divisions. The Buddha division, Vajra division, Karma division, and Lotus division, and the Buddha division, Vajra division, Karma division, Lotus division, and Ratna division or Jewel division. So the Buddhas are divided into these 5 divisions. And in the Lotus division, the head is Amitabha, Tathagata. And Padmakumara of course, belongs to the lotus division. It's simple. Why we chant Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name and identification of Amitabha Buddha? Because the origin of Padmakumara is Amitabha Buddha. That's also lotus division. Why we have 36 trillions, just 36 trillions Amitabha Buddha? What does it include? It includes all the Tathagata in the lotus division. And perhaps even includes all the Padmakumaras. Therefore, there are 36 trillions, 119,500 Buddhas with the same name and identification of Amitabha. So the whole lotus division is like the whole big family. And look at the Buddhas. Which Buddha? All the Buddhas are seated on top of a lotus. None of them are seated on a rock or elephant or lion. Many bodhisattvas have their pets. For Manjushri Bodhisattva, it's lion. For Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, it's elephant, his pet. And that Indian, Hindu gods, they also have pets. Like for the great Brahma, his pet is the white goose. And for Shiva, is Maheswara, or the destroyer. His pet is the white ox. And for Vishnu, his pet is Garuda. And many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have pet. But for the lotus division, everybody is seated on a lotus. So Padmakumara has a powerful origin. So don't think that when someone asks, so what is your Yida, Padmakumara? Oh, Padmakumara, that's small case. Come on, how can it be small? He's the founder of Mahamudra, the lineage guru. That's the big shot. It's like a big shot. So don't underestimate yourself. Don't undermine yourself. So if you can gain spiritual union with Padmakumara, my own spiritual experience is like this. Once you gain spiritual union with this deity, whichever other deity you want to invoke, by the power of this deity, you can be in spiritual union with all the other deities. So once you gain spiritual union with one Dharma practice, then you would be in union with all the other Dharma practices. And Padmakumara is also the Vajra with great fortune. He can bestow to everybody. Therefore, true Buddha's school disciples won the lotteries and prizes. But of course, you also have to have the merits to get that. If they have the merits, then they can get it. If they don't, they don't. But the poor can become rich. So this great fortune Vajra can bestow upon everybody. So today, let's continue to talk about Lamdre, because we've talked about Padmakumara a lot. So I just briefly mention it. The nectar of accepting the realm. The wordings here, maybe you will not understand. I glanced at it a little bit and I found it. The writings, it's really hard to understand. Also, although the mind dwells on the Tanduli fire of the development stage, such as any convenient practice at the mandala wheel, the poison of continual thoughts will appear following what may come. The mind cannot be tamed to abide. It is like wanting to drink when thirsty. Such is the state of desire. The instruction on making the unabiding mind to abide is called the nectar of accepting the realm. As stated in the verse, the five consciousness, not reeking of the five realms, accept the nectar. This poison is the nectar of the desired. In the mundane realm itself, the mind and consciousness follows whatever may come. For example, when the eyes see all sorts of strange views and gimmicks and get attached to them, and all the way to the touch, whatever state is desired, the consciousness will try to satisfy, even for days afterwards, still feeling satiated. And the focus of the mind is on this craving. Therefore, we don't force ourselves to practice concentration. Instead, conveniently, we use this state of mind to think of this happening and to taste it. Then the mind will focus. It is like today, one is wearing a mask, dancing. That night, one still feels and sees this mask. As stated above, the name of the unabiding mind is the meditation of differentiating the pre-practice warm-up. And for the abiding mind, it would be like adding firewoods to the burning fire, and it is called accepting the nectar of all sorts of realms, which in the verse it is stated as accepting the nectar, and it is one of the 8 prominent benefits. Okay, the end of my reading. But let me ask, what are they talking about here? All the masters present. What opinion do you have about this part, accepting the nectar? What is your opinion on this excerpt? Do you understand it? No. You're honest. You're being honest. If you don't understand, you don't understand. And if you understand, you can say a few words so that we know if you truly understand. Anybody else? The one who often read the sutras. Master Lian Wang? One cannot understand by reading, the other one cannot understand by hearing. Okay, let me just briefly explain the meaning. The meaning, the summary meaning of this excerpt. Our thoughts, which are continual or like running thoughts, continual thoughts is a kind of poison. Like when you want to enter into samadhi, you can't because your thoughts are running continual. That's a kind of poison. And because you cannot stop your thoughts, how do you stop them? If you transform the thoughts to become nectar, and the nectar continually flow into your body, you use your visualization to have the nectar to shower upon your head and your body, inside your body, and your skin pores open, and all the karma from inside you becomes black smoke and flow out, and you visualize this way. Then you would be able to obtain the taste of the nectar. Once this appears, then you would like the nectar more and more. But it's no good if you like it too much. That accepting this nectar is one of the benefits. It's beneficial for you to enter into samadhi. That's the general meaning. Of course, it gives us a few examples inside. In there. Like when before we enter into meditation, or you practice the treasure vase energy yoga and you practice it too much, then there would be several symptoms. First, your eyes would be red. That cannot disappear, and your gums will swell, swollen gums. Third, nosebleed. So when you practice treasure vase energy yoga and you get red eyes, bloody nose, and swollen gums that cannot disappear, or you practice the treasure vase energy yoga, that you would get hemorrhage. hemorrhage, inflamed, or pain in some parts of the body. You feel the internal fire blazing, and that's the impure fire of your body, but not the pure body. The pure body is inner fire. That's the cool fire that can ascend and descend and burn away all the bad things from your body. That's the pure fire of inner fire. So in that case, I often teach people, when you meditate, you visualize your yidam seated on top of your head, on top of a lotus, and on your head, and the lotus stalk or the stem would enter into your body through the tip of your head, and you visualize your body is filled with white, cool nectar, and a very nice and cool, icy cold nectar. And through that lotus stem, drop by drop, it drip into your body from the feet until the feet is filled with nectar, and then your lower body filled with nectar, your upper body, and then your whole head, and your whole body is filled with the cool, refreshing nectar. Then this way you would be able to eliminate all the rising fire. The nectar is cooling, so it can remedy the fire that was generated from your treasure base energy yoga improperly. And then when this nectar cleanses your whole body, your karma would become black smoke and expelled through your skin pores. So you start with visualization, and until you go into deep visualization, it becomes a real nectar entering into your body to become nice and clean and cool nectar. So every time in our practice, we would always chant the Sunyata mantra. You think of yourself to become empty. When you have become completely empty, there would be a kind of Dharma flow that enters into your body, and the Dharma flow is like the nectar filling your whole body. So this is what he talked about, accepting the nectar in this excerpt. So you use the visualization of the nectar to replace the continual thoughts, the poison of running thoughts, because you still have a thought, and before it's being continued by another thought, another thought. So the 5 aggregates, the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body, can generate thought. For example, when you drive to a certain place and all of a sudden you think, oh, there's a friend who lives here in this alley, and then you will look at the alley. So your thought has turned into the alley. Or as you walk, your eyes see something, and then you would think of somebody, and then another thought comes. Or when you hear something, and a thought will rise. Go there. So the five consciousness, it's talking about five consciousness here. Like some people, it's like one is wearing a mask dancing, like the Tibetans would dance wearing masks, like the Vajra dancing, and then at night in your dream you would think of that mask. Your thoughts would be on that mask. So this is one of the five consciousness. So it's an example, like when one is wearing a mask dancing, or when you watch the performance of the Vajra dance at home, you still think about that mask. Or that mask still appear in your mind. Or the eyes see all kinds of strange gimmicks. Like say if tonight you watch a show, a special effects show, then your mind, your thoughts would be on that show, and it may be for several days. That's the example. Things that you see, things that you hear, things that you think, or things that you taste, the food that you eat, and you would think like what you ate today, eyes, ears, nose, things that you have smelled. So that smell or taste would appear in your mind. So the thoughts that were generated by the five consciousness, and the thoughts are continual and running, that make it impossible for you to enter into meditation. So accepting the nectar is one of the methods. That's the key point. So it's one of the 8 prominent benefits accepting the nectar. Accepting the nectar of all sorts of realms. If your mind can abide, or the mind is stable, then it would be like adding firewoods to the burning fire. When the fire is blazing and the nectar drips, that will become, the nectar becomes oil. So it would be adding firewoods. That would be like accepting the nectar of all sorts of realms. But if the mind cannot be abiding, then there is differentiation. But if the mind is abiding, there is no differentiation. So that's the meaning of this excerpt. The wife asked the husband, if you have a pick of your career, what would you do? I would get into the military. And the wife said, are you sure you can bear the strict restraint and discipline? A very strict constraint, restraint. You have to live in the compound, and you can only get out on the holiday. When we were in the military, we have to receive the training inside the compound and only go out on a certain day, like say on a Sunday, once a week. Can you bear it? And the husband replied, sure, I've received training. Really? What training? And the husband replied, being married to you is the training. Many wives very control their husbands very strictly after marriage. At night you cannot go by yourself, you have to stay at home. In the daytime you go to work, and at a certain hour, certain minute, and then where else did you go? Very strict control. What time you go to work, what time you get off work, and then at night you cannot go out. So it's the same as in the military, right? Very strict control. Actually, in our spiritual cultivation or Buddhist practice is the same as in the military. The thoughts cannot just go everywhere. So when I was receiving training at the 5th survey team, see, they taught us to sit only a third at the wooden chair or bench. You couldn't sit like that, so you have to sit up straight and only sit a third of the bench, and your eyes have to look straight, cannot look left and right and just look around. You have to look straight. So you have to obey, because that's a training. So today our thoughts are flying all over. Now we're teaching you to focus, and your eyes cannot look around. If you do, then your mind, your spirit will also be chaotic. Or you look at, either soldiers, or the ladies at the convenience store just walking by. In the military they have that, and everybody is looking. But no, your eyes cannot just look around. Like when you want to get a bun, it's a pile of buns, a whole bucket. You cannot just pick the second one. You cannot pick the top one. You have to pick the one at the top. If you don't, you would be punished. That's the rule. You can only take the one on top. It's the same thing when you eat. You sit upright, you bring the bowl to your mouth, and you eat like this. You don't eat like this. That's no good. You always lift your bowl to your mouth. There are many rules in the military. Very strict training. The same with our thoughts. The thoughts cannot fly all over, but in reality they do. So it's written here, the poison of continually running thoughts, one thought after another, just like a waterfall. Lao Wang went to the pet shop and bought a poodle for $2,000. After he paid, when he was just about to leave, he asked the shopkeeper, "Is this dog loyal?" And the shop owner said, "Of course. Every time I sold her, she would come back by herself." 5 times. So this dog had been sold for 5 times, but she went back to the pet shop. So she's truly loyal. Our thoughts are the same. Think about it. For your mind, just one thought is good enough, not too many. Just one thought, and this is called loyal to yourself. For spiritual cultivator, we all only need one thought. At the beginning, Amitabha Buddha, Golden Mother, and Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva appeared in my vision, and each one of them told me a statement. The one is like wholeheartedly toward goodness, just one thought, one mind, which is goodness. And the other one said, you have to be single-minded in your Dharma practice, in your Dharma study. And the other one said, single-mindedly study the Buddha. So they only thought these 3 things, and combined it's only one thing. Single-mindedly toward goodness, and that's development stage. For the perfection stage, that's the Buddha Dharma. None others. Golden Mother told me, single-mindedly toward goodness. Amitabha told me, single-mindedly study the Buddha. And Ksitigarbha said, single-mindedly study the Dharma. You cannot have any other thoughts. Any other thoughts already deviant from the Buddha Dharma and goodness. Already deviated. Therefore, every spiritual cultivator should be the same. We should be the same, wholeheartedly, single-mindedly. We are toward goodness, study the Buddha and study the Dharma. Because now you're already spiritual cultivators, and you should be like this. You should not be, you should not desire other things. Someone lost his job. He went for an interview at a company to become a salesman. It went quite well, except the last part. The boss gave me a piece of report, and it's all English, but my English is zip, is nil. But I really wanted this job, so I just say what I like, say whatever. And the boss looked at me perplexed, and I thought he did not know English either. So I said whatever I like, and then I even added my own explanation. And then the boss finally said that a salesman really needs a shameless person like you, so come to work tomorrow. So he doesn't know English, but still dare to speak. Grandmaster is like this too, has this kind of spirit. Although I don't understand English, I still speak English. Master Lien O just said it earlier. We don't go back to Taiwan. There are three reasons. One, it's because Taiwan air is very dirty. If you go back to Taiwan, you would be sick. That's the first reason. The second reason, Master Lien Xiang is sick now. She. There. To refer to a woman as she, it sounds like dead. So her hand and feet are not working. If to the medicine okay, but no medicine not working. And that was two. The third reason, listen carefully. Taiwan's so many mosquitoes. They eat me every night.
OK， 这是讲英文嘛，对不对？
So, this is English speaking, right? So I just give you these three reasons as answer to you. And the first one is the most important. The air is very dirty, yuck. So these three reasons are very legit. So, because the badly polluted air, it can cause lung cancer or lung problems, especially in Taichung. Because in Taichung, there's the second biggest coal-generated power plant. So, and especially in the Situn district of Taichung City where we live, it's the worst, the most severe. And when we stand at the Taiwan temple and we look below, it's all covered with smog. And at my own house, on the 22nd floor, and we look down. The Bodhisattva peak is on the 22nd floor, and it's all smoke and muggy, you know, below. You can tell it is like the fairyland, and very fast you can go to the Pure Land. You can barely breathe there. But Taiwanese are very, very stubborn. You know, they don't wear any masks because they haven't felt the effect. But once they got the lung problems, it would be too late. And the statistics already out. The lung cancers has increased by 20%. So it's a very severe problem. I really hope that the air will improve, then I can definitely go back. But for Simu, she has to be able to control her hand and feet, and she should not travel long distance. And third reason, look at in Seattle, I don't need to put the mosquito repellent or anything, or the incense or anything. So, do you have mosquitoes? No. They're like mosquito repellent incense. But every time we go back to Taiwan, we have to put that every day, every night. And they use oil or electrical to evaporate it so that the whole air inside the bedroom is filled with that smoke in order to repel the mosquitoes. And just breathing in that fume is horrible. So the mosquitoes eat me. The farmer has a guest, and the farmer wanted to kill the cock, the rooster, and the rooster flew to the rooftop, and the farmer got really angry. Hey, if you don't come down, I'll kill all the hens, and you would want to prefer to die. But the rooster said, hey, good idea, then finally I can go for the wild hen. Like the advertisement for the Kentucky Fried Chicken. In English, we do chicken right. And there are several translations. It is right for us to be a chicken. Mom and Dad were arguing, and the mom was really angry and left home. And Dad tried to use the phone calls and texts to apologize and to comfort her, and she ignored him totally. And then I called her and only said 3 words, and Mom immediately got home. And Dad asked me, I've said so much and didn't work. What did you say? Just 3 words and she came back. What did you say? And he said, hey Dad, you should admit that now you're not love anymore. All I said was that I'm hungry, and she comes back. One day, Taiwan Lijiang Temple can make a phone call to us and say, I'm hungry. And then Sumu will go back. Really, a lot of things we still have to be compassionate. When Taiwan needs Grandmaster or Sumu, a really important matter, then we will still go back. Xiaomei attended the high school reunion, and she discovered that the school beauty, the queen of the school, still haven't got married. So she's very happy, got home and told her husband, hey, our school beauty is not married yet, and look at me. It's just ordinary, but I'm already married. And the husband replied very calmly, and look at the supermarket or the hypermarket. Things that are on a discount can be sold really fast. So what does it mean? If we use it on this accepting the nectar, how you should say it? We can say it this way. Our mind should abide or stay on one point, and that's very difficult. But if you use other methods to make the mind to focus on one point, that would be easier. If you force yourself to stop your thoughts, to just focus at one point, that would be very difficult. However, if you use other surrounding methods to help the mind to focus on one point, that would be easier. We can say that. So that's the meaning of this joke. Of course, the most precious one is when you can stop all thoughts. But in reality, that's extremely difficult. But you can use all different kinds of methods to make your mind to focus at one point. And accepting the nectar is one of them, one of the methods. You continually visualize the nectar entering into your body to fill your body and to expel your karma. That's a very good method. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.
非常感谢法王圣尊莲生活宝贵的法语开示，请唱诵组准备。
We are very grateful to His Holiness Dharma teachings. Tomorrow, on October 13, 2019, at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington, His Holiness will preside over Mahamayuri Homa fire offering ceremony. And for details, you can check the TBS and the ORG. And before the Homa, starting at 1:30, there will be the book reading of Grandmaster's book number 675, an overview of Buddha Dharma, led by Vajramaster Si Lianman. On November 21st to 23rd, organized by True Buddha Foundation, will organize Kala Chakra as the main topic at the Borobudur Candi Borobudur Temple in Indonesia, in participation of the cultural and art activity there in Indonesia. And there will be Homa and other activities and programs. And you're welcome to participate and to support this event. And any masters, venerables that attend this event would be paid. All the expenses would be paid for room, board, and the event. And November 30th to December 1st, the True Buddha Foundation will hold a seminar on hospitality at the Taiwan Temple. We welcome all Dharma propagators and the people responsible for temples and chapters to join and attend. Living Buddha Lien Seng has said that by becoming a hospitable Sangha member, we guide sentient beings toward the right path. If you're interested, please find Reverend Lien Tong. For the spring blessing ceremony, it will be held on February 1st, 2020, on a Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington. And His Holiness will perform the debut transmission of Ishe Chogal, the important consort and disciple of Guru Padmasambhava. And Ishe Chogal practice according to the teaching diligently and have a great attainment through her spiritual cultivation. And we welcome your participation and registration. And please check the details at the TBS and the ORG. And on the Sunday, February 2nd, there would be a day trip, a fun day trip with Grandmaster. And further details will be announced later. Now we'll be chanting Buddha Amitabha.
请新皈依者到坛城前长跪，恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛为新皈依者
We are inviting any of you who would like to take refuge. Please come forward to the center of the temple and personally receive refuge initiation from our lineage root guru. If you're not present in person and would like to take refuge, you may send a letter to True Buddha Foundation, Redmond, Washington.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛加持大悲咒水及为佛像开光。
We are inviting His Holiness to bless the great compassion holy water and to consecrate Buddha images. Please stand up and pay homage. This ends the English interpretation to the thing.
根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽。二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽。 三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽。四平等一起手。同修会圆满即将结束了，非常感恩根本传承上师的大加持，感谢师母仁波切诸位上师、教授师法师、贵宾同门善信大德的护持，谢谢大家，阿弥陀佛。我们现在恭请师尊为大家摩顶加持。网络直播到此结束，感谢大家的收看。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing.